Experimental Open Beta 1.39 is here. So let's go and check out what's new. Let's do this. Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to ATS. It's been a while since I enabled this profile. This profile, which is a pure vanilla profile without any mods, so we can check out in its purest form what SCS has for us in terms of updates. And as you can see, right in front of you is this oversized load. Do you classify this as oversized load? You guys let me know. But this is one of the major changes in 1.39, the addition of the ownable lowboy trailers. We'll check out what options we have and what kind of cargoes we can haul here, and we'll do a short trip, an 80-mile trip here in New Mexico, just to explore and see how this trailer feels when we drive it. Okay, but let's go for the first changes first, and that will be with the Launchpad. So let's go and check how the new Launchpad looks like. Et voila, the Launchpad. That screen that you launch into when you open the game has now been completely revamped, and it has gotten me quite interested what this means, why they needed to do this. So there are various reasons. I'll post the blog link in the video description, but it seems like they are paving the way for something big that they'll be releasing. Now has been a lot of conjecture around that point. Your profiles are now in the drop down. For example, my main profile here. And then you'll get a quick number, how many mods are used in that specific profile. And these are actually buttons. It's a bit misleading, but yeah, these are buttons. When you click on those, you go into the mod manager. When you click on the other ones, you go into the World of Trucks connection or the Steam synchronization. And then from here, actually, even from outside here in the main menu, you can now go into the options screen and change your graphics, your gameplay options. So that's pretty neat. You don't have to go into the profile to change anything. Although I guess in order to test, like for example, graphic settings, you'll have to go inside anyway to have a look if that's something you like. So I'm not sure why, but that's a pretty handy feature. Mod manager, we've seen that, so I think it is the same. Clicking here in mods in use versus the mod manager goes to the same part. Manage profiles get you into a similar screen from the previous one, from the original Launchpad with a few UI improvements. And the DLC browser is now easily accessible as well. So you can, I think, untick. I'm not sure if you can untick this. Not really, but it just gives you a nice view of all the DLCs you have purchased and what ones you have not. So you can see some of these I don't have yet. What's interesting though, I don't see Idaho here. That might be more of an experimental beta bug, but I expect Idaho should be part of this list. Let me know if you spot it, but I've been looking a while ago and I don't see anything. Release date, sort descending. Yeah, Utah is the latest one. Weird. Anyway, so that's how the new Launchpad looks like. What do you think SCS has in plan for us? Do you think there will be an MP, a multiplayer official version, a Euro coach, an American coach simulator? Why do they need to make this Launchpad like this? Let me know what you think. But in the meantime, let's go and check how the new trailer looks like, the new lowboy trailers. Back on my vanilla profile, I did buy a Kenworth T680, just a day cab. I don't have much money in this profile, I'm only level 17. But I decided to go with a Kenworth T680 because this has by far the best sounds in the vanilla, in the default SCS selection. The others I'm not particularly pleased with. We'll go into more detail on that point later on, but for now, let's focus on the trailer. The lowboy is now part of the list. There are 3 options on the lowboy if you go to the chain types. And yeah, it's a bit, well, because I'm low level, I don't have access to everything yet. But it will be priced around 50,000, around 30 plus to 60,000 USD if you're planning to buy one. But let's go out here so we can see all the possible values in the vehicle browser, trailer browser. And here you can get a list of all the trailers you have. That's the one we want. Single, double, or triple. So basically the low boy part remains the same, this main trailer, and it just has as an add-on either in front or at the back, or both front and back, I assume, to spread the load. So whatever you put here in the center, because of all these connections, the weight gets distributed across all the axles in the trailer. And that means you can haul something heavier, because in the US they have regulations depending on the state how much each axle can carry. What is the maximum weight each axle can carry? So technically speaking, the more axles you have, like so, the heavier you are legally allowed to haul. So even if you put that in the center, because of the weight distribution, the magic, the science behind it, you can actually have something like this, and you can haul something much heavier than if you had less axles. So yeah, couple of different options. Of course, we want the most number of axles if we can. But aside from that, well, there you can change the paint as well. And let's make that red. And in here you have a couple of different options. Make that into a wooden deck. I'm not actually sure if, depending on the cargo you choose, something can get loaded there, but I guess in real life that could be used as a space for loading. Right, over here you can add some fender options, because your truck would be here, and so to protect that against the, I don't know, I guess just some kind of protection. Alright, so in addition, mud flap options, and the basic, exclusive, or standard lights. So they're all there. And over here at the back, you can also change that to aluminum or make that into a wooden deck as well. I would love to see these areas, if you make these into wooden decks, that it would allow you to get more cargo in. Heavier cargo, more pay, maximizing the space available. That would be nice. Different banners, beacon or strobes. How do those look like? Oh yeah, the strobes there at the back, or beacons. I think that's the one I set up in my trailer. Can add some flags and mud flap options, pretty standard. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Where this really shines though is somewhere we cannot see here from this screen, and that is all the cargo options that you can haul with it. So if you look at the cargo market, the icons are still placeholders as we're still in experimental beta, but I'm sure those will be populated as we come closer to release. But yeah, you can see different types here: a forwarder, a log harvester. I'm not so sure how many exact cargo types there are, but yeah, this one, look at this, all-terrain crane, 38 tons. Is there somewhere we can haul by weight? Cargo weight descending. Let's look at the heaviest one. Oh yeah, for me it's only 38 tons because I'm only using the double trailer. Remember a while ago, single, double, triple? My level only allows me the double, so I assume with triple you can haul something like, I don't know, 54 tons or somewhere around that. Pretty interesting. So yeah, you can have a look there on your own. For us, in this particular trip we're doing, we have a log harvester, which is I think 24 tons. We'll double check that later. Okay, what else? Aside from that, there are now, how do you call it, viewpoints. Oh, what is this? A viewpoint in Colorado, looks like. Yeah. In this update as well, you can kind of see some areas of Colorado already, even though officially it's not yet released. So you'll have to like go through some barriers. But what they did add officially are the viewpoints. So remember this one in Washington? I think this gives you the view of the, what volcano was that erupted, I think, over here. So now if you go to that area, that viewing deck, you can unlock the viewpoint and you will enter a cutscene, just like how Idaho did it with its cutscenes. So they added those in other areas as well. and those will appear as question marks, so those are discoverables. Yeah, right? I think those were the main things. So there are some major changes. Well, not sure I could call them major, but there are some audio changes as well. But I think it's best to go through those as we drive along. So let's do this. We are in New Mexico at the moment. Oh, and yes, I've been reading through the SCS forums and have seen that in addition to all the official updates, there have been sneaky updates as well in the form of improved signages in Oregon, I think. And if you look here, there are new companies. Remember this part in New Mexico in Albuquerque? Previously, this area, I think, all had ABQ and ABQ as well. Two companies right next to each other, both ABQ, quite misleading. Now that is named Ultimus. And Namek, I'm not sure if it's new as well. But yeah, we're getting new companies. We're getting more variety in terms of company names and company availability. I guess that is in preparation for Colorado. That's my assumption. Now let's see how we turn this thing. I have actually not driven this yet. So we will see if I make a mess of things. I guess you guys know that is inevitable. We'll do our very best. And you can hear already the engine. The Kenworth T680 with the... I think I used the Packard MX-13 here on this one. Let's have a look at the external view. Yeah, if you choose a double trailer, you can have an option of getting that second trailer in front or at the back. So you have your main trailer where the actual load is carried, that tractor, and then you have this like extension trailer. You can put that either in the front or at the back. I chose the front just because it looks cooler, for me at least. Alright. So in terms of sounds, I think it's a bit louder. But to be more accurate about it, I think in general they did not, or still, at least so far, at this early stage in experimental beta, they have not yet changed any of the truck sounds. So like the bass sample sounds are still the same. That unfortunately means that most of the trucks are still pretty old, still have pretty old sounds. And for me personally, I don't like driving with them at all. Like I cannot survive a single trip with those kinds of sounds. So the only truck for me at the moment which has pretty good sounds by default is this one, the Kenworth T680. If I remember correctly, they upgraded the sounds of this truck in one of the recent versions, and it is much better. This kind of quality I am more than happy with already. Like I'm sure Krishboom, Z-Mod can do much better if they focus on a specific sound, and they have if you use one of their sound mods. But coming from SCS by default, I'm more than happy with this level of quality. Very crisp, very fluid, minimal stutters. It's very nice. I cannot say the same for the other trucks though. Do we need our beacons to be on? Let me turn them on, to be on the safe side. Then you guys let me know in the comments which is the correct way of hauling this kind of cargo. Do we need flags? Do we need banners? Do we need beacons? But mainly, what they added in 1.39, and I hope you can still hear me, it is a bit loud. They added the interior cab sound mixing. And I think what that means mainly is before, when you create a sound for a truck, you create the sound for the engine, right? Before, that sound of the engine would sound the same if you were in the exterior view versus you were in the interior view. So they sound the same. And that presented a lot of challenges for our sound modders Don't tell me there's a detour. There is a detour. Oh my goodness, come on. Okay, 1 second. Let's go to the map view here. Normally, we should just go to the right and that's it. But we can say add avoid location, that one. And that will make me go around. Okay, that's no problem. You can do that, I think. So we avoid that detour spot, so it leads us to a different area now. Alright. Where was I? So the sounds. That presented a problem before because the engine sounds were the same whether you were outside or inside the truck. And if you get into a real truck, then you would quickly realize the sound is very different from the outside versus the inside because of all the insulation inside the truck. I've had commenters say in my videos that the insulation is very good in modern trucks nowadays, that you can hardly hear the engine anymore. Oh crap, even this one is a problem. Okay, so I think that might not even work. Alright, let's see where it leads us. This might be a longer episode than intended, guys, because even that I think will not work. Okay, so we can do this maybe. We can skip that entire thing. So we kind of enter through the side road. Is that possible? Or is that also closed? I'm not so sure. We'll try. So in this case, when I open the windows, it will get even louder. Let's close those again. It's loud enough as it is. And this is all default levels, all the sliders in the middle. So it is pretty loud. I think it needs a bit more insulation, but I don't have any real life experience with trucks. So you guys let me know. I'd assume this should be weaker from inside. But yeah, before that was one of the problems. There was a limited way of changing how the exterior and interior sounds were like, and that limited what our sound modders were able to do. Now with this change in 1.39, my hope, based on the description, is they can add more effects in the interior, and that is mainly probably like muffling the sounds, making it sound like you're really inside the cab. So you hear the engine still, but it has that muffled effect to it. So maybe they have that additional filter, or maybe they allow completely different sounds inside the cab, like before F-Mod came out. Maybe that can be a thing now, I'm not so sure. But I hope that is one of the things. Yeah, but in the default sounds though, I don't think they're using that yet. So everything still sounds almost the same as it was before. I hope throughout this beta though that they do add all those improvements, because they added the capability, and now I hope they use those capabilities on their own default sounds and not wait for the sound modders to do that part for them, because we all want great default sounds. Having mods is good, but having good default sounds is gooder. It's better. Because unfortunately, that's just the way it is with mods, right? Whenever there is a new version of the game, and that happens every few months, the mods often need to be updated and adjusted, like in this one. In 1.39, the sound mods that worked before in 138 don't work anymore. They would all need some adjustments in, at the very least, some definition files. But yeah, it's all for the best, I hope, with all these additional functions. I have yet to hear from a sound modder how the new structure looks like. I think I've seen some comments initially, and initially it has been negative because it doesn't make sense so far for the sound modders that have spoken up. But I think it's more of an adjustment phase. You know, like generally in the beginning, people are very negative about changes, and then as they get used to the changes, they kind of grow into it, and then they start appreciating the value. So we'll see how that works. Alright, so let's see how this is going. We're basically going under the bridge now. Let's hope this is open. Says keep left. So what other changes are there in the audio department? I'm going to pause the game, guys, just a bit to show you in detail. There is now an audio slider for the truck turbo, this one. Now that would be nice because in some areas, depending on the truck, the turbo is more audible or not, so you can fine-tune that more. But I'm not sure what that means from the modding point of view. We'll see. So the short story of it is there are sound updates in terms of what sound modders can do with the sounds, but those will need adjustment. And right now, the 138 sounds don't work. So unfortunately, if you're a fan of Z-Mod like I am, and his Detroit Diesel 60 series sounds, those do not work with 139. And he has been absent, I think, for the past few weeks. So I'm not sure if he is planning an update. I hope so, though. I hope so. So we'll see what SCS will bring about in these coming weeks. We'll see what kind of changes, what kind of improvements they squeeze in after this experimental beta, because yeah, there is experimental beta. You show off the main new things, but SCS likes to squeeze in many other changes through the stage of the public beta. So I'm sure there will be further improvements, and we will be right on top of things when that happens. So stay tuned. We'll do more videos whenever I read something that is worthy enough of showing a video of. Initially, actually, I was a bit hesitant to make a video on 139 in its experimental beta phase. But I've been reading up on it, and it seemed pretty nice. The changes are very welcome. This is all free. This is all part of the base game. So if you have ATS, you already get it. And yeah, we can't really complain. And given the changes, I'm sure many of us hope for more in terms of sound updates, graphics updates, and all the other stuff. But no one is telling me to say this, and I'm not an SCS shell or anything. But I honestly think SCS has something up their sleeve now that they will be releasing very soon. I hope very soon. Something that they have not announced yet, but they will just be surprising us. That is my impression. That is in no means a confirmation, or not. That is not based on any insider info at all, because I have no insider info. That is just my assumption, mainly due to that Launchpad change that they did. And also, I'd like to read from the blog post they had for 139 experimental beta. I'll read it verbatim. Let me try and see. So they have this statement at the end. While a majority of the changes in 139 are not seen visually in this version, We look forward to bringing you more content and changes in the near future. So it seems like from that statement, if I were to interpret that in my own words, it's like they are admitting that there are not many changes in this 139, at least visually from what we can see. But under the hood, whether that's inside the game files that is present right now but that they have not unlocked yet, or if that's something that they're planning to release very soon, it seems like the future is very bright for us virtual truckers. So I'm really looking forward to what SCS will bring about. We will see. I'm very hopeful though. But yeah, if there is anything I am most excited about in this update, it is actually the Launchpad. I mentioned it, I shared it in the Discord server. The lowboys are nice, and the lowboys are a very nice addition. I'm sure some of the people are super hyped about this, and I am going to be one of those people who will be driving this around for the foreseeable future, just to check out different trailers, the different cargoes that I can haul with it. Oh, this guy's also hauling a lowboy. Nice, that's already included in the AI traffic. That's cool. So yeah, as great as the lowboys are, I'm more excited about the Launchpad because I don't see any need to change the Launchpad as it was before if there was nothing going to be added. Like if everything was going to be status quo, like in terms of game updates, new map DLCs, and all the things that we are more used to already, I don't see a need to change the Launchpad at all. But the fact that they changed it and they said it is in preparation for things to come, like what would that mean? If it's the main ATS as an option, what other options can they bring about? Like, I don't know, a multiplayer ATS maybe? That's what everyone in Discord is hoping for. Or maybe some variant of truck sim, maybe not a truck sim, maybe a coach simulator, like what people have been looking for in ATS2 for the longest time. That will probably come in the form of a DLC, I'm imagining. I'm not so sure, so don't quote me on anything. Let's get some more space in here. Good. There it is. Straight end parking, but that's trickier than it looks. I've had to reverse a couple of times trying to do this parking. Let me try and remember the trick to it. Can I squeeze in, or will you squeeze in before? Okay, fine. So I think the trick here is we have to hug this left side. Let me open the windows. Sorry, it will get even louder. Okay, we have enough space. That's good. And then we turn to the right at the last moment. Ooh, that's loud. So you guys let me know what you think about the new changes. What do you think about the sounds for this truck? Is it too loud? Is it great? Do you like it better than the sound mods? Is it okay enough for you? All that kind of stuff. Looking forward to your comments and expect more videos on ATS and maybe even ATS2 when 139 comes for it. Because it will also be getting some low beds, I think, from what I remember from the blog post. Oh crap, I don't think this will work. I think I didn't steer enough. Don't tell me we'll have to reverse this thing. I might have to skip the parking, guys. Because there is no way I can reverse fully from this angle. Yeah, still didn't do that enough. So I'll go straight as far as I can, like so. We'll try to reverse it. Now reversing with this trailer, not really ideal. We'll see if we can do it. Come on. Turn to the right for me. I'm waiting for that tractor to turn to the right. Get into the spot more accurately. There you go. Bring that back. With a double setup, it's not as complex. With a triple, I think it's more impossible to do. Okay, that one can work. Let's adjust this manually. Yeah, no. Let's see if we can push this way to the back and just go straight in again. Alright. And this is not as impossible as the other config options. Double, I think, is still manageable to reverse, I think. Triple is the one that's really doesn't make sense. Okay. That one we can work with. And yes, doing this in third person, because if I do this in first person, there will be no chance for me to fix it. Okay. And then steer it back in like so. That looks much better. Yes, I think we're in a better place there. Still not the best. I think we can manage. Okay, let's see. Let's try this again. It's very nice though, finally being able to own these. And if you read the SCS blog post, you'll see how much work they had to do here. It's not a matter of just porting over the existing lowboy trailers, making it ownable. It's really remodeling so many of these. They had to remake the models, make them more accurate, make them more fitting, and more options. Ah, that looks much better. That actually works. Nice. So yeah, but let's leave it there for now. If you guys know of other changes included in this update, heard any rumors, let me know what you think. Let's talk about it. And yeah, I'll be making more videos in the coming future. There you go. Thank you for watching, guys. Excited to stay tuned to what SCS has in store for us. But in the meantime, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye. Clumsy Trucking.